மக்களால் நான், மக்களுக்காகவே நான். உங்களால் நான், உங்களுக்காகவே நான்.
This video gives the biography of the most prominent and the famous personality of the Tamil Nadu history, Selvi J. Jayalalitha, who is popularly known as Amma and Puratchi Thalaivi. She was an Indian politician, actress and philanthropist who served as the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu for more than 14 years between 1991 and 2016. She was associated with the All India Anna Dravida Kazhagam, a Dravidian party whose cadre revered her as their Amma, meaning mother, and Puratchi Thalaivi, the revolutionary leader. As far as her early life is concerned, she was born on 24th February 1948 as Komalavalli at Mandya district, then in Mysore state, now Karnataka, to Jayaram and Vedavalli, also called as Sandhya, in a Tamil Brahmin Iyengar family. Jayalalitha's father, Jayaram, was a lawyer but never worked and squandered most of the family's wealth. He died when Jayalalitha was 2 years old. The widowed Vedavalli returned to her father's home in Bangalore in 1950. She excelled at school and was offered a government scholarship to pursue further education. She won Gold State Award for coming first in 10th standard in the state of Tamil Nadu. She joined Stella Maris College, Chennai, however discontinued her studies due to pressure from her mother and became a film actress. As far as her family is concerned, the couple Jayaram and Vedavalli had 2 children, a son named Jayakumar and a daughter Jayalalitha. The name Jayalalitha was adopted at the age of 1 for the purpose of using the name in schools and colleges. It was derived from the names of 2 houses where she resided in Mysore. One was Jayavilas and the other one was Lalitha Vilas. She was fluent in several languages including Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Hindi, Malayalam and English. Regarding her film career, in Madras, Jayalalitha was trained in Carnatic music, Western classical piano and various forms of classical dance including Bharatanatyam, Kuchipudi, Mohiniyattam, Manipuri and Kathak. She became an accomplished dancer and gave her debut dance performance at the Rashika Ranjani Sabha in Mylapore in 1960 May. The chief guest at the Arangetram was Shivaji Ganeshan, who called her a Tanga Silai, meaning the golden statue, and expressed wish that Jayalalitha becomes a film star in future. While a child, Jayalalitha acted in the Kannada language film Sri Shaila Mahatme, which starred Rajkumar and Krishna Kumari. She was spotted by Kannada filmmaker B.R. Pantulu, who then decided to cast her opposite Kalyanakumar in the Kannada movie Chinnada Gombe. Her Kannada debut film became a blockbuster in 1964 and she became a well-known face. Jayalalitha's debut in Tamil cinema was the leading role in Vennira Adai, which was released in 1965. Her debut in Telugu films as lead actress in Manushulu Mamathalu opposite Akkineni Nageshwara Rao. She acted in one Hindi film called Izzat. She starred in 28 box office hit films with M.G. Ramachandran between 1965 and 1973. The first with MGR was B.R. Pantulu's Ayirathil Uruvan in 1965 and their last film together was Pattikattu Ponnaiya in 1973. She donated her gold jewelleries she had to the then Indian Prime Minister Lal Bahadur Shastri during the Indo-Pakistani War of 1965, which shows her absolute philanthropical tendencies. From 1968 to 73, at the peak of her career, she took interviews and wrote columns in the magazines like Bommai. Jayalalitha wrote 4 full-fledged novels, columns for Bommai, Tuklak in 1970s, short stories for Kalki, Thai in 1980s. She had an insatiable desire in her mind to write her autobiography, but it was not fulfilled until the last. political career of Selvi J. Jayalalitha was started on 4th June 1982 when she joined the AIADMK, which was founded by M.G. Ramachandran. Her maiden public speech, Pennin Permai, meaning the greatness of a woman, was delivered at the AIADMK's political conference in the year 1982 at Kadalur and was well received by the people. Even the then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi and the Rajya Sabha member Khushwant Singh came to witness her speech, which was widely acclaimed for its clarity of diction and elegant prose. In January 1983, she became the propaganda secretary for the party and campaigned extensively for the party candidate R. Amritraj in the by-election for the Tiruchendur Assembly constituency in February that year. Indira Gandhi lauded Jayalalitha for the various speeches she made on issues, including the one on internal security in Rajya Sabha. Jayalalitha was elected to Rajya Sabha in 1984 and retained her seat until 1989. Her success in her role as propaganda secretary caused resentment among high-ranking members of the party. Despite these machinations, she remained admired by the rank and file of the party. She was given key responsibilities, including in the implementation of the landmark noon meal scheme when M.G. Ramachandran was the chief minister, and this taught her lessons in welfare politics. Later, when MJ fell ill, she campaigned extensively for the party before the 1984 Tamil Nadu Legislative Assembly election. Following M.G. Ramachandran's death in 1987, the AIADMK split into two factions, one supported by Janaki Ramachandran. This faction was called AIADMK-JA and the other favored Jayalalitha was called as AIADMK-J. Janaki was selected as the chief minister on 7 January 1988. However, Rajiv Gandhi used Article 356 to dismiss this government and imposed president's rules on the state. At the age of 41, Jayalalitha entered the assembly in 1989 elections. Jayalalitha as the leader of the opposition in 1989. On 9 February 1989, the two factions of AIADMK merged and they unanimously accepted her as the general secretary of the party, and the two-leaf symbol of the party was restored. On 25th March 1989, Jayalalitha was attacked by the ruling DMK members in front of the assembly speaker when violence broke out between DMK and ADMK MLAs. Karunanidhi fell on the floor when one of her MLAs rushed towards him. Both Karunanidhi and Jayalalitha alleged of attacks against them, but Jayalalitha left the assembly with her torn saree, drawing a parallel with the shameful disrobing of Draupadi in the epic Mahabharata. At the peak of the situation, Jayalalitha was about to leave the house. She vowed not to enter the house until as a chief minister. During the 1989 general elections, the AIADMK, allied with the Congress party, was handed a significant victory. The AIADMK, under her leadership, also won the by-elections in some assembly constituencies. As a first-term chief minister in 1991, she became the state's youngest chief minister and the first woman to serve a full term. In 1992, her government introduced the Cradle Baby scheme. At that time, the ratio of male to female in some parts of Tamil Nadu was skewed by the practice of female infanticide and the abortion of female fetuses. Her government was the first to introduce police stations operated solely by women. She introduced 30% quota for women in all police jobs and established as many as 57 all-women police stations. There were other all-women establishments like libraries, stores, banks and cooperative elections. She began to be referred as Thanga Gopuram, Thanga Silai by her followers. In 1993, the Tamil Nadu Backward Classes, Scheduled Castes and Scheduled Tribes Bill 1993 was passed by the Assembly, confirming the 69% reservation exclusive for Tamil Nadu. Madras began to be called as the Detroit of India under her first term as Chief Minister. The AIADMK returned to power in 2001, although Jayalalitha was personally disbarred from contesting due to the corruption cases. Within a few months of her taking oath as Chief Minister, she was disqualified from holding office. As the third term Chief Minister, upon her acquittal 6 months later to complete her term, her appointment was legally voided in September 2001. In March 2002, Jayalalitha assumed the position of Chief Minister once more, having been acquitted of some charges by the Madras High Court. India's first company of female police commandos was set up in Tamil Nadu in 2003. Her administrative abilities were notable in her handling of events following the tsunami that hit Tamil Nadu on 26 December 2004. As a fourth-term Chief Minister in 2011, Jayalalitha's government received attention for its extensive social welfare agenda, which included several subsidized Amma branded goods such as Amma canteens, Amma bottled water, Amma salt, Amma medical shops, Amma cement and Amma baby care kit. She became very popular among the people of Tamil Nadu and she advocated on women's empowerment as well. She announced a pension scheme for destitute transgender and also ensured members of the transgender community could enroll for education and job. Her government gave free laptops to students to impart digital education to rural areas. The acquittal from the disproportionate assets case allowed her once again to hold office in 2015. For the fifth time, she is sworn in as the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. But this was not last longer and she passed away on 2016. Thank you very much for watching.